All right, welcome to the world of Hearthron. I'm your host and storyteller and dungeon master Bilbo. Tonight, I'm joined with my grandson, and what we are going to do is we're going to start a new show for us. It's going to be Papa and grandson play Dungeons and Dragons and other games. And of course, we're going to start with Dungeons and Dragons first. And this is going to be one on one adventures. So I'm going to be the dungeon master, which you don't see me. I'm behind the camera. But in the future episodes, there'll be both of us on camera as well as we game. But this is session 0, and this is all about the player. So we're going to go with that. Alex, tell them how old you are and how long you've been playing Dungeons and Dragons and everything.
So, I am 11 years old.
11? Are you 12?
I'm really 12.
Okay.
I figure my own age. But I've been playing since I've been 6, which is actually, I started at a younger age than my grandpa did.
Yes.
And I've learned with my personal favorite character, Flamezor, from the Grey Guardians. And it's just been a fun experience learning, hanging out, and destroying all monsters with critical hits.
Yes, that's perfect. Yep, and you've been playing with our group since you were 6, right?
Yep.
Well groomed into the game of Dungeons and Dragons. And we play some other games too, right?
A lot.
All right, so like Magic,
Yes,
right?
we played that earlier.
And we play some different war games that we have Hate. And we have some other games that Andor, right? And some other games.
Some we haven't tried yet.
Nope, we got them, but we will, right? Yep. All right. So we're going to play Dungeons and Dragons, though, first. That's going to be our first thing since that's my bread and butter. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons since I was, I think, 9, but I always say 10. 77 is easier to think about and just and start wise. And so, yeah, he has me beat. He is definitely playing before me, and he is smarter than me, too. Well, he's smarter than me now, and he's a lot smarter than when I started playing D&D, that's for sure. So, we're going to play one-on-one. We're in a sense, I'm the dungeon master. He is going to be the character. We may have a guest appearance here or there. Maybe. We'll see what happens. But for the most part, the adventures is going to be him solo. When I was younger, I first started playing with a group, but I moved away. And so I found another friend to play Dungeons and Dragons, and we switched back and forth on weekends where he would DM one weekend and I would DM another weekend, and we'd go back and forth. And we did that for about a year. So, first off, you were talking about settings,
Yes.
So in my world, in a setting, what setting do you want to play in?
I want to?
Yeah. So what setting, what kind of environment would you want to play in my world, and maybe where,
Well, I don't know much about the where, but now you got me thinking.
Hand down, buddy. What do you really want to do? What kind of setting? What do you want, like your character, like setting? So you could be in a sense you want to be in the mountains, jungles, city adventure, town adventure, or on the water adventure. What are you thinking? Or in other settings, whatever you say, I can build it.
Well, I'd love, uh, what's it called?
Give me a hint.
Something that has to do with, like, dragons, like, kind of, like, involved.
Less dragons, like almost like the Dragonlance series
Yeah.
where there's dragons
Yeah.
around. Yeah, I mean, I could put you in a sense where a lot of evil dragons are, or what are you thinking? So there's the Dragonborn, or they used to be dragon men.
Yeah.
But you could be in you could be in a place where one of my old campaigns, with where way before your time, Winter Storm, and it's called Wintershed. It's a town, and it's controlled by Dragonborn. But way back when Dragonborn didn't exist, and I had Dragon Men, um, and so they were kind of like what Dragonlance. In a sense, they were the generals, and there was black dragons, but usually wizards, red wizards of Garain, a warlord in my world, kind of controlled those dragons, like black dragons. Or are you more in the sense you want to see a lot more dragons? So what are you thinking? What do you think your character? Let's say this. So maybe come back to the setting. So, what kind of character do you want to play?
I'm leaning more towards an Azamir.
Yep.
And I'm either thinking of playing a druid or a bard.
Okay, that's fine. And why do you want to play an Azamir?
Because it's just been one thing I've been wanting to play for a while, and I've never really gotten the chance to.
Has your uncle's played one?
Yeah.
And Seth has played one?
Yes.
And so now you want to give it a whirl. Okay, sure. And then a druid or a bard?
Yeah.
Okay, and why the druid or the bard?
Well, druid, because that's something I use as a multi-class, but not a main class.
Yeah, okay.
And also the bard, because I've never played a bard.
Yeah.
Three classes kind of, because rogue I kind of played, but I didn't really play that class. And then the ranger and the bard, which I've never played before, and they just never really came in front of me. And now bard just kind of.
I've never played a bard either.
You haven't?
Nope, never. I've never played a bard.
I'm really interested. Now I kind of want to play a bard.
So, back when we started a bard, or it's probably more advanced Dungeons and Dragons, when you played the bard, you had to do like multi-classes. So you had to play like a rogue, and you had to play like a wizard, and I think there might have been even another class.
I heard of like that on the stream I was watching actually. Well, Billy turned it on.
Yeah,
I was just paying attention.
Yep. So I never played one because
they are hard to get.
Well, yeah, and I just wasn't interested. I just usually play. I didn't multi-class a lot, except for the rogue wizard. I did a lot.
That's my main thing.
Yeah, we know you love multi-classing. All right, so druid or bard. So what's your character's name going to be?
Agris.
Agris. All right. So why don't we start with this? Why don't we start with the most important thing, your stats, right? Now I'm going to move the camera up here a little bit. So we can watch you roll. Hold on, let me adjust this. So my home rule is you get to re-roll ones one time. All right, so let's go ahead and see. Wow.
Ooh, dang, 17. Right
17. Now, I should tell our viewers that's going to watch this, you go ahead and write that down. This guy is amazing with dice. Most of my players prefer that he rolls their character stats because he has a tendency of rolling stat monsters. And I watch him. It's not like one of those guys that say, oh, look at my character. No, I watch every one of his characters roll. 14. So yeah, 17 of 14 so far. That's pretty good. Just 2 rolls.
Ooh, and 16.
16. All right. Sorry, you can't see. It's time to move this. When you're done rolling them, move them in the center so people can see.
Reroll.
That's
10.
a little stat.
10. It's plus 0. My guy's gonna have a character flaw. That's 4, so 2 more. Another 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 more.
Reroll that 1. And
11. Okay.
So not bad, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead and just say the numbers again, buddy.
17, a 14, a 16, a 10, a 16, and 11.
So pretty impressive numbers, of course, from the little guy here. He's really good, like I said, with dice. And even in the sense of combat, he can roll a lot of 20s. All right. All right, so you got your stats. So now you're gonna place them. Where do you want them?
Well, that's
Or do you want to look at your race and see? So you're gonna play Nasamar, right? You know
Yes.
that.
I'll
So
look
are there
at it.
different?
Yes, they're different characters.
Now I've never played one of these myself. I don't play often, right, buddy?
Yeah.
Except you're DMing one of my
Yeah,
characters,
I'm
right?
actually-
Kenku character,
Where's
Kenku rogue of mine. So
This is 103. I also love reading, so this is just perfect for me.
yeah, so he's great at math, great at reading, and and he gets into these books a lot. That was my thing too. I was in this, like I said, when I started, I was either in the summer when I was 9, or maybe, that's what I believe. I believe I started when I was 9, but probably early summer, so maybe I was even turning 10. But I wasn't good at school. I do know that, and I do know I just finished. I want to say I finished 3rd grade. And in fact, yeah, I finished 3rd grade. So whatever age you're at 3rd grade. Okay, you got stuff, buddy?
Yeah, I found it.
All right, so what are the stats?
So the first, just general Azamar
Okay.
trait is your charisma score increases by 2.
All right.
So that'd help if I become a bard, which I'm actually really leaning to now.
Okay.
And then there's 3 different types of sub race:
Okay.
Protector, Scourge, and Fallen. And I'm going with Fallen Azamir, which gives me my strength score increases by 1.
Okay, so you're gonna be a fallen Azamir.
Yeah.
All right, so that gives you +1 strength.
Yep.
And you get a +2 charisma, right?
Yep.
So why fallen?
Because just with background purposes, because with either Bard or Druid, which I'm probably going to do Bard now, I was thinking of a background for a Bard like this. I was used to entertain powerful beings. Like, I could lull them to sleep when they could not. But one day I learned as much as words can lift up, they can also cause distraught. The power they gave me was torn away from me, and I was set down to the mortal plane. Set to roam the earth, torn of my power.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's a great idea, buddy. Very good. Okay. All right, so why don't you go ahead and...
So, first of all, 19 in my charisma.
Okay.
So, strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So, that's a 19 total in charisma, which is a +4. Then wisdom. Bard.
Do you need a wisdom for a bard?
I'm not
Or
sure.
is it, I think it's more charisma
Yeah,
based,
it's
isn't
charisma
it?
based, but like wisdom might be important for the bard.
But is he gonna be wise? Is your character gonna be
Yeah.
wise?
I'm thinking.
Or are you gonna
maybe,
make are you gonna make wise decisions? A lot of your characters, why don't you sit down, buddy?
Yeah.
A lot of your characters don't make wise decisions, right?
That's more mean.
So that might be, but it might be your dump stat if.
So dexterity and charisma, I think, is the main thing. So charisma 19, then I'm gonna put. So I'm gonna have 16 in dex,
Trying to adjust my camera. Sorry.
and then I
people.
get +1 to my strength for being a fallen Asmir. So I'm gonna have a 7. Ooh, do I want that? I'm gonna have a 15 strength.
Okay.
16 con, and 11 wisdom, and a 10 intelligence.
All right. So you're not gonna be that. Well, I mean, 10 or 11 really doesn't really
it's
matter,
like you're
right?
not bad, you're just not good.
Just average. Average Joe in intelligence and wisdom. That's fine.
16's +3.
I believe so, but you should
16
check.
+3.
Okay. Remember, I don't play that often,
sure. I
buddy. I
know,
don't
15's +2.
When I make NPCs, I look in the book. So,
Okay, so that's that.
All right. So
These
so
are
right
my-
now, so you're gonna go a bard, right?
Yeah.
And it'll be first level. So first level bard.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So what's next? What else do we gotta do?
I'm not gonna do my spells yet. Those are probably gonna be my last thing.
Yeah, because one, don't you with bards you don't have you just basically choose, right? It's not you have certain memorized. I don't know how a bard works, or
So
because they don't have a spell book, right?
I know.
No. And how are they? How is a bard granted spells? It just in a sense. I know they sing or play music, but how do they gain their magic? How are you going to say you gain your magic?
One thing that I kept when I was stripped of most of my power is I used whatever I had left to hold on to this different magical ability that could help me find a way in life,
Okay.
which is like using illusions and stuff, so I could get away. Say someone sees my, like if I go like angel mode, I can get away and also use power to destroy.
So how are you going to? I mean, so what did you use to lull people? Was it your when you lull? You said you were lulled people or other gods or creatures to sleep.
Yeah.
Did you sing or did you play an instrument? I mean, you play guitar.
Yes, my character has a guitar with him,
Okay.
but he also incorporated a little bit of magic into his
Okay.
music,
Okay. Yep.
drawing it from his ability of just inner power. Really.
Okay. Cool. Perfect. All right. So what do we have to pick? What else do you have to do for your class? So what do you get as a first level bard? What are
So for my the bard thing, I get spellcasting, and my bardic inspiration is a d6.
Okay.
I have 2 cantrips known, 4 spells known, and 2 first level slots.
Okay. Perfect.
So oh my gosh! I just looked at like spells known in the future, like 22, level 20.
All right. Well,
I know that's probably
let's
not
get
gonna
there,
happen.
and plus you like multi-classing, right? So who knows
I'm
how?
not with this actually.
All right.
But
Well,
right
bard is the ultimate to me, as I told you before when we were talking, and to your uncle Billy who plays with us. I always say I asked you guys what the best class is, and what did you say?
I said druid.
Druid, and he said.
He actually changed his said druid too.
Okay, so both of you said druid, and I said
Bard.
bard, right? In
Yep.
the sense of you're going to play individual,
Yeah, I guess that's
one-on-one game.
Druid
bard.
and bard are both good though.
Yeah, they are
Druid
absolutely.
can get a ton of help from different creatures and
Yep.
speak with animals that you're in a nature setting.
Yep, absolutely.
And you can have allies with you, and that's pretty helpful. But the bard can say distract people fast and have a little bit of healing, some illusionary magic to make people kind of go insane.
Yeah, you can do a lot.
Yeah.
Yep, you can get out of a lot of you can get a lot out of a lot of places. Yeah, not much of a combat person, but neither is a druid. So
Okay.
all right. So what else?
Well, so first of all, I get any 3 skills.
Okay. So why don't you do that? Why don't you? What skills do you think you're gonna want? And this might come back to the setting again. So, are you gonna be in this? Are you gonna want to start in a village? You're gonna want to. So we know you've been thrown down to Hearthron, right?
Yes.
So now it's in a sense, do you want to start in a village? Do you want to start in a town? Do you want to start in a city? Any of those things or something else? Something I didn't think about.
Well, probably if I was thrown down, I'd end up finding my way to a city where I can kind of make a little coin.
Okay,
On the
perfect.
streets.
All right, so a city. So we know you're going to start in a city, which is good. I think that's a good place to start a first level character.
Performance as one of my skills.
Yep, and so that's why maybe that, in a sense, we could say what you're working maybe at a tavern or an inn and playing for your room and board and maybe making a couple coin on the side, right?
So I'm gonna write down skills. So performance is +6. then
So setting. So once again, so we know you're a fallen Asimir.
yeah,
We know you want to start in a city. Working at a tavern or inn. We'll figure that kind of stuff out. So the city that you want to start in, do you want it to be like an occupied city, where in a sense, because you talk about dragons, and you could be in Wintershed, which is an occupied city, which is right by the mountains, and there's dragons and there's all sorts of humanoids. It's a wild area. There's even drow in the woods that were left on the surface.
my character actually.
Or would you like to be in a very large city and make this more of a city campaign? You could go that route too. Or do you want to explore?
Well, with what I'm planning on playing, I think an explorer is probably gonna be fun.
Okay.
So like exploration, but like some city, like a little bit like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it
small
can
missions in
be.
the city, and then kind of finding my own path out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We'll see where the adventure takes you, right? So maybe you do want to be in more of a wilderness area.
What skill is survival in? I don't remember.
Survival.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you mean? What skill is it?
Like what stat? I mean. So like, isn't
I
it
don't know.
wisdom?
You have to look. I think
Yeah,
it's wisdom. Yeah.
Do I want? No, probably not. I'm gonna have acrobatics.
Okay.
That's one of my skills.
That's a good skill. What's your dex?
+3.
Okay, yeah. So that's definitely
So that's a +5.
good
Just
skill.
like my save.
All right, I'm gonna adjust this because you keep moving seats on me.
I always move.
I know.
So now I need to think. What's my final third skill? What am I gonna be doing?
So what are your skills so far?
Performance and acrobatics.
Performance and acrobatics. Okay, good.
I'm thinking about like persuasion or deception.
Yeah, I mean, so persuasion or deception. Deception.
Well, I'm a fallen Asimir, so deception I'm thinking more closer to.
So you're gonna want to lie your way out of stuff, or
that's why I got thrown down to the.
well, did you get thrown down because you were lying, or because you trick people? Well, I guess it can almost be the same thing. I mean, persuasion in the sense is where you can get people to do stuff for you if you need.
I'm actually pretty. Yeah, I'm gonna have persuasion.
Okay.
So that's all +6. Okay.
All right.
Next up, I'm going to. I get my equipment, my starting equipment.
Yeah.
Which is either a rapier, a longsword, or any simple weapon. So I'm gonna look at the weapons.
All right.
Okay, so simple weapons. Or longsword, or rapier.
So what are you looking for? Just in a sense of.
Well, I was wondering how I want to think of like my fighting attack.
Yeah.
How my character's gonna fight. Which. So you have piercing. I'm probably gonna go with a rapier, which isn't that. That's finesse is dex base. I think. Finesse. Yep, you can use your strength or dexterity. So I'm gonna have
Rapier is your
rapier.
main weapon. Okay.
I'm probably gonna get some magical items on the way, but
What is this?
I said I'm probably gonna get some magical items on the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it'd probably take a while.
that'll be a while. Yeah.
So I'm +5 to hit with it. And then it is 1d8 +3. Okay, and then next up, a diplomatics pack or an entertainers pack.
Probably entertainers, because that's what you're doing, right?
And I
For
need to find out what's in
performance.
it.
All right, yeah.
So I'm gonna write down my items here.
Yeah, that's fine. You do what you want to do. So, well, and we probably don't need to stay much online. You can look at that stuff. Is there anything in particular? What about Asmir? Did they get any sort of your thing? Do they get any
they get quite
skills
a few abilities.
or abilities?
So first of all, there's celestial resistance.
Okay.
I have resistance to necrotic damage and radiant damage.
All right. Cool.
Then I have dark vision.
Okay.
I also have this ability called Healing Hands. As an action, I can touch a creature and cause it to regain a number of hit points equal to my level.
Oh, okay.
Once I use this, I can't use it till I finish a long rest.
All right.
I also know the light cantrip, and my charisma is my spellcasting ability for it. Then I can read and write common and celestial.
Yep.
And then that's.
All right, so let's get away from that part. So let's go back to setting, because you can do this stuff offline. We know all that stuff. So we know you're a bard, you're an Aasimar bard, you're a fallen Aasimar bard, and you're going to start in a city, but a city that has adventure around it, where you can go out and explore if you want. You'll start in the city and see where adventure takes you, right?
Yeah. Might be in the city, might be in the sewers.
Are you still fascinated with the dragon thing or not, or what? What were you thinking? I mean,
well, my character's gonna have admire dragons, kind of loves he saw a dragon a few times when he was working for Greater Creatures.
Okay.
And it was a fascinating beast to him, and kind of wants to study a little bit more of the dragons.
All right, so maybe be in an area where there are dragons. So yeah, I mean, we could go to Wintershed.
Yeah.
One that's an old school for me, bringing that back to the new school, because you've never been there. You don't know anything about Wintershed. And most of my current players, other than I think one, knows even about Wintershed. The rest have all known further west. So Wintershed is in a continent called Tamra, and is the center, and it's actually where I started a couple campaigns, or finished one campaign, started a new one there. And so it's got a lot of history there in the world. And now the warlord Gareno occupies it with dragon men and orcs and plenty of other humanoids. But there are free folk as well. So it's not like it's just filled with... there's elves that live there, but they're under occupation. There's humans, some dwarves. Not too many dwarves.
Quick question, has winter hit there yet?
Right now, we are playing the season of winter, yeah. So why?
I was just wondering. For just random reason, just wondering.
Because that's most of my campaigns right now, right?
Yeah.
Is the winter right now.
I was wondering if
So
winter hit your whole world?
no, not the whole world, because there's deserts and such, but Wintershed is it's a it's yeah, hence the name Wintershed. Yes, there's mountains to the east called the Rack Mountains, and that definitely brings snow right into that area. So is it okay if it's winter?
Yeah.
All right, might be the end. It's not the beginning of winter. It's
Close to the end.
Closer to the end. So
Okay.
we'll get you in spring soon enough.
Yeah.
All right, so anything else you want to share with your viewers right now until we're back next, maybe next Sunday, hopefully?
Not really, just look forward to it.
All right, yeah, so we will be back next Sunday evening, and we'll play our first one-on-one session where he will, the Azamir, what's his name again?
Agris.
Agaris. Will start in the city of Wintershed, and I will find my old map of Wintershed and everything I have on it, blow off the cobwebs, and we'll go with that. So see you next week. Also, if you like this, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. It does help our small channel grow. On Wednesday nights, we do Tales from the Yawning Portal. We've had a couple weeks break because due to me some work issues, but we will be back on this next Wednesday night. And then Saturdays, I rotate a couple campaigns. We have Dark Stories of Karan. We have the Pirates of the Golden Plunder. And then I have a kids campaign, but we do not tape that one. So just for the privacy of some of the other kids and their parents. So even though this guy's with me all the time. So remember,
it's cool to be a geek. Pass it on.
All
And
right.
good night.
Good night.